Welcome to Ion Cell Processing. I want to come up with something real quick in the wake of the hurricanes that went through Florida. It had me thinking that, we need to have emergency preparedness or kits or documents or something that's already ready to go before the emergency actually happens. A lot of us, I'm sure you have it, and some of us forgotten, especially when we move from one place to the next. So what I did was I took information that I gathered from more than one location and brought it to one place. A lot of the stuff you can get at ready.gov, which is available, and you can put together your own emergency kits. And then also Let's Go Help Too is a paid subscription that I joined, and they have a lot of resources there. If you don't know, 211.org is give you a lot of resources if you need food, shelter, help with your utility bills, a little bit of anything. And then also, I believe it's help.org. You can go there and you can find different resources there that can help you out during an emergency. So I want to go through this list, and I'm going to pull it up on my screen in case you want to follow along. If you are able to see my screen, if you're listening to this on a recording, don't worry about it, because you will be able to go to my group, which is Sterile Processing Grapevine on Facebook, and it will be a link there for it. And I'll find some other places to put it. Maybe it'll be on spd.com, and you will be able, I on spd.com, you'll be able to find it there. So when it comes to emergency documents, they're talking about having your driver's license. Now think about it too. A lot of this stuff can be something that's scanned to the cloud. So a lot of this information can be in the cloud. Some of this information, you actually need to have tangible hard copies of it. So make sure these things are put maybe in a Ziploc bag or some kind of waterproof packaging, so that it doesn't get wet in case you are dealing with a flood or dealing with lots of water or rain and different things like that. So, of course, your driver's license, a state ID, a green card, or a visa. Also, your birth certificates. We know we have one, but in an emergency, are you able to grab these things and run? Your social security card and your banking information that you may need. Because think about it, if you end up being displaced, you may need to prove your residency. You maybe need to prove your need. Maybe you're getting welfare. Maybe you're getting social security, a disability check. You may need to be able to prove to these people these are the things you need. Your lease, mortgage information, marriage and divorce certificates. Like I said, a lot of this stuff can be scanned. Some of you may need to have tangible documentation, your tax return information, and maybe this is just a time just to get things in order on your Google Drive or on your OneDrive. Maybe it's just time to get this information together, because honestly, I have stuff everywhere, and it'd be very helpful to have everything in one file that you can quickly get to. Insurance statements, whether it's dealing with your vehicle, your health insurance, because that's another thing too. You may need emergency help, and it's like, okay, you don't want to have to deal with all these bills and trying to figure things out after the fact. So do you have all your medical insurance available? Do you have your life insurance? Do you have any pet insurance you need to think about? What about your homeowner's insurance? If your place was damaged or destroyed, you want to be able to get those claims in ASAP before the phone lines are flooded, before the website crash, where you got to actually put in these insurance claims. Your utility bills, that may be something you need to use as proof of residencies, so that you can be privileged to different programs that they may have available when Red Cross show up or when FEMA show up. You may need these things. So it could be your phone bill, your internet, your electricity bill, gas bill, or anything like that. Any loan documents that you may have, your employment information you may need to have available. And usually those things are digital, but being able to get to them quickly and being able to show it to whoever needs to see it to help you get qualified. Any kind of school enrollment documents you need to have for your children, any military DD, like 214 forms that you may need to have, military ID, veteran information, and things like that. And then when it comes down to billing a kit, they talk about, and this is ready.gov specifically, and it has a hyperlink here, so you'll be able to click on when it says water. But they do mention that you need to have 1 gallon of water per person per day for several days of water. Now, I'm not going to lie. And you need it for drinking and for sanitation, rinsing, washing off your hands or blood or whatever it is. But I'm not going to lie, I don't even drink a gallon of water a day myself without an emergency. So I'm sure you can stretch out a gallon of water in emergency. You learn how to ration off things instead of just drinking things up. And then they also talk about food, at least several days of food supplies that's non-perishable. So you can start thinking about things that could be like, I like the tuna in the pack. So I'm really I always get tuna in a pack anyway. So you can have things like tuna in a pack, things that are vacuum sealed. If you're near a military base, you have family members that are military or ex-military or veterans or whomever, that can get you those packages. I forgot what the names are. I'm sure you veterans out there know what I'm talking about, or military personnel. But they come in a brown pack. I actually have some of them in my little emergency kit inside the house, and those things last for a very long time. I guess forever in an emergency. But you can get things like that you can have in a backpack in your house, in these emergencies that you can grab and go. So maybe you can look into something like that. They also have talk about having a battery powered or a hand crank radio that you can use, and they specifically say you should tune it to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration weather radio, so you can know what is going on around you in case you lose power. Talk about a flashlight, a first aid kit, having extra batteries for that flashlight, a whistle in case that you need to signal for help, because it's dark and there's a lot of other noise going on, especially from a tornado or a hurricane. Plastic sheets and duct tape in case you need to shelter in place. They talk about having moist towelettes, garbage bags, and plastic ties for like your personal sanitation. They talk about having wrench or pliers available in case you need to turn off utilities, a manual can opener for opening up food, a local map if you need that. And maybe that's something you can already have screenshot on your phone. Because a lot of times people are on vacation, people are new to town, and you don't really know the lay of the land, or you don't know where these key points that you need to have access to. You should also have a person that, especially if it's like a few of you in a state or a town, you can have somebody in another state or a town that is that contact person, almost like a command center, to everybody be able to call and say, hey, I'm okay, or hey, this is where I am. So like, say for instance, the Cylindra is in Florida, I can call my family in California, Auntie Tina, and say, hey, Auntie Tina, I'm okay. When Kelvin called, let him know I'm here, or let them know I'm there, or let them know we're moving to this location. So at least you have that one person that's not in the disaster zone to be able to communicate different information to everybody. And of course, a lot of times in these situations, people start putting together Facebook groups that you can go to find loved ones and see how people are doing and get that communication flowing. They also mention your cell phone, having a backup battery. A lot of cell phones now don't even have detachable batteries. They're all built in. So at least having another, like a power pack that can store that energy, so you don't need to have electricity as a resource, and you can get that battery, that juice to your phone, because I don't even see phone booths anymore. It's crazy. They say masks in case you need them, soap, hand sanitizer, disinfectant wipes to disinfect surfaces or your hands or body or what have you. Prescription medication, don't forget about that. A lot of people need their prescription medication. They cannot go a day without it. Over-the-counter medications like pain relievers, antacids, laxatives, vitamins, your prescription eyeglasses, contact lens solution. Also, don't forget about the baby formula if you're giving your babies that, bottles, diapers, wipes, diaper rash creams. If you have a pet or pets, pet food, extra water for your pet. Cash will be king during that time, because if the power is out, you cannot get to the ATM. You're not going to be able to, if any store happens to be open, how are you going to actually be able to make a purchase with just a debit card? So you got to have cash or traveler's check. They also recommend that on hand. Sleeping bags or warm blankets for each thing. And I know I was at an outlet not too long ago, Columbia, the store, and I went to their outlets. I was at another, like almost like a REI type store, and a lot of things they have are compact, especially for like hikers. Think about being a hiker. People who are traveling the Appalachian trails. Did I say that right? But traveling that trail, they have a lot of condensed packed stuff that can be balled up or folded really small, that'll fit, that can blow up and open up to keep them warm, keep them dry, and different things like that. So think about somebody who may have to travel on an Appalachian trail, and the type of stuff that they use for survival, but it's all being able to be in a condensed package, or condensed in a way in which it doesn't take up that much space, but it gives you the help and the shelter that you need. Also think about a change of clothing, and think about the weather that you're in, whether it's it's summer, it's winter. If you're dealing with the snow, you need to think about those things too. Matches, I'm sure a lot of youngsters may not even seen a match. I haven't seen a match in a long time, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm sure if you go to one of those outdoor stores like Academy or something like that, I'm sure they have matches, but make sure you put it in a waterproof container. Don't forget the feminine hygiene supplies and personal hygiene items. Don't forget that. So deodorant and different things like that. They mentioned mess kits. I don't even know what a mess kit is. But anyways, paper cups, plates, paper towels, plastic utensils, whatever it is, it's not going to take up too much space, and not trying to get everything. You know how a lot of us women are. We go on a vacation for 3 days and we got 3 suitcases full of stuff. So you got to think real small. You got to think about what you're going to need. You got to think about the fact that you may have to be on foot. The roads could be crowded with people trying to get out. I don't know. Paper and pencils. And then don't forget about books and games or puzzles and stuff, but not just the children, but also for you. Because during that time, you are really stressed out. So you need to be able to find a way in which to keep your composure and keep everything cool. So again, this is Cylindra with Eye on SPD. You go to the sterile processing Grapevine. I will put this in the documents there, because there is an area on these Facebook groups. You can have it in the documents. And I'll figure out where on eyeonspd.com. I'll put that on the website. Of course, I just woke up and decided to do this, so I didn't really prepare that well. But also, you can reach me on ionspd@gmail.com, and I can just send this directly to you. It will be a shareable file that you can always use. And you guys continue to go out there and be great. And until next time, peace.